Welcome, I'm Michael Bickert. Thanks for joining me today as we explore concepts with the objective of improving your management skills and growing your business. Grab a notepad, grab a pen, because I want you to take notes and I want you to make a commitment that you will jot down some sort of action item that you can implement in your business today. That's what this is all about. Implementation to drive your business forward. Each day, try to do something different from your routine and drive your business forward with some sort of innovation, some sort of improvement. All right, now I have a principle to share with you today, sort of a rule of thumb that you should be following always. And I wonder if you are following this. Actually, if we're being honest, many times we do not follow this, but you should always. And here it is. Never make what you can buy for less. Actually, this came from Adam Smith. Adam Smith made this observation at a pub while he was drinking a glass of wine, and he said something along those lines. Never make what you can buy for cheaper. So I would just apply that to your business by maybe just rearranging the words slightly and saying, never do in-house what it is cheaper to outsource. And I want you to think about this. What is it that you do? On all of for your products and services, you require materials and labor. You have raw materials and labor, basically. And what things are you doing in-house? Are you producing in-house? Are you performing in-house that might be cheaper to get elsewhere? Now, I understand we'd have to add a caveat to this, that all things being equal, this would be the rule. That is to say, if the thing that you got elsewhere, if you could buy it cheaper for the same quality. Actually, what you'll probably find is that the quality is in fact better. If it's something that you don't specialize in and someone else does, they're probably not only going to be able to provide it cheaper, but they probably also can do it with better quality. I mean, think of the things that you do, those things that you specialize in. And if you were thinking of somebody other than outside of your business, could they do those things as well as you could? And if they could do it, like let's say, for example, you perform a service. Maybe you're an electrician and somebody at home wants to do his own electrical work. Maybe it's nothing major, but you understand that you could do it cheaper for the person. And not only that, you could do it far with much greater quality. Your service level would be much higher, and the predictable results, the outcome would be much more predictable. You'd be able to do it more safely and so on. So the same applies outside of your business when you're the customer, and we do so much as small business owners. We tend to do so much in-house because we think we have this flawed logic. We think, oh, I can't afford to go and pay someone else to do this, so I'll do this myself. Now, why do I call that flawed logic? I do understand that you have a budget and you want to control expenses. It's so very important for your business to control expenses. But the other part of that is you need to generate revenues. And if you're so busy focused on controlling expenses by doing everything yourself, once again, you're stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. Instead of focusing on what you do best, you may be inefficiently doing something in-house that somebody else could have just swooped in and done for you, no problem. They had done it with excellent quality and very inexpensively, freeing up your time to focus on those things that you do best. So I want you to think of it this way. Do what you do best and outsource the rest, or do what you do best and buy the rest. So you can apply this, and you should apply this on an individual level. So certainly for yourself, do what you do best and delegate the rest. But also within your organization, every individual within your organization should follow that same rule. They should do what they do best and they should delegate the rest. And then you can apply this on an organizational level where you think of this for your business, a rule for your business. Your business should stick to doing what it does best and outsource the rest. So break that in your mind into delegation and outsource. And I often use those terms synonymously and interchangeably, where delegating, sometimes you're delegating in-house, sometimes you're delegating to a third-party vendor. You're outsourcing it, maybe a freelancer or something like that. But in your mind, in today's discussion, if you think of those things separately, individual level, this concept that I want you to remember, and it rhymes, so it's easy to remember: do what you do best and delegate the rest. That's something that you and every person that works for you should focus on. And any time that you find yourself engaging in a task that is not what you specialize in, it's not what your strength is, if it's not one of those things that is in your wheelhouse, it's not one of those specialized knowledge and expertise things, one of those things for which you can offer the best return on the investment of your time, you want to put that on someone else's plate, because we need you focused on those things that you do best. Those will add the greatest value to your organization and help you to grow the most. And the same thing goes for each of your people. So forward this video to your people and let them know. We want this to spread culturally within our organization. Each of us is going to do what he does best, and we are going to delegate the rest. Now, once somebody doesn't have anyone to delegate to, I suppose they may have to do it themselves. We have frontline and operational personnel where they don't have anyone to delegate to, but that may be a situation where they may want to outsource. And so you would again apply that same logic within your whole organization, where if somebody is expected to do something that you're not really good at, and an example might be in human resources. Are you expecting somebody to do your talent acquisition and your recruitment for you, but they're not particularly skilled at it? Maybe you aren't particularly skilled at it, so you delegate it to one of your managers or somebody else. Maybe you are hiring a replacement for a receptionist, or you are hiring, I don't know, a front counter person or something like that, and you delegate that to somebody else, and you say, well, you go and look for somebody, because I got to focus on what I do best. You go and find somebody, but they're like, I don't really have any experience with that as well. That's an example. As an organization, you would say, well, we should stick to what we do best as an organization, which is, as an example, electrical contracting, or running a restaurant, or whatever it happens to be, your healthcare practitioner, whatever it happens to be. We should stick to what we do best, and then let's outsource the rest, because there are people who specialize in recruitment and talent acquisition. Let's get them to do that. And remember what we started when we talked about Adam Smith and his wine: never do in-house what you can outsource for cheaper. And we said, all things being equal, as long as the quality's the same or better, it's more likely to be better, because those other organizations, the people to whom you will outsource this to, are specialists in that, and they're likely to give better quality. It's what they do. And therefore, they probably do it not only more effectively, they probably do it much more efficiently. They don't have as much waste. And most importantly, they're not going to be distracted from doing what they do best as you would, or someone in your organization if you did it. So you will likely be able to do it much cheaper, especially when you frame it through the lens of missed opportunity. And that's what this concept is all about, is you should focus on what you do best. It just makes sense. Now, as I consider this concept for the various businesses that I've observed and interacted with, sometimes I'm a customer, sometimes they are a customer of ours, and maybe we are professionally engaged with those people or whatever, or just throughout my whole career in management, what I've observed is these things tend to be nothing to do with those specialized knowledge that is associated with a particular industry. That's our premise that we at Bickert Management go by, is that people tend to have the specialized knowledge for the business that they work with. And I mean, that sounds obvious, but what I mean to say is they don't come to us looking for a consultant to tell them how to run their business in terms of, like in my example of electrical contractor. That person isn't reaching out to us and going, hey, can you give us some ideas for how to perform electrical work, electrical contracting work a little better? Or if it's a healthcare practitioner, they're not reaching out to us and saying, hey, can you give us some advice on how to help our patients and make them well? They went to school for that. They have the specialized knowledge. And someone who's running a restaurant isn't saying to us, hey, can you give us some recipes to improve our food and that kind of stuff? No. in all of those aforementioned examples, they may ask us, could you improve the quality of our product or service by helping us streamline our processes, eliminate waste, and all that kind of stuff? But what I mean is, typically, they have the knowledge that they need to create a product or service that's really good once they focus on that. It's the peripheral stuff about running the business that they reach out to us for. So when you think about all the administration involved in running a business, you know, like the paperwork, the handling of incoming customer inquiries or vendor inquiries, the answering of phones, and lead dispatch, when you consider marketing and all the stuff surrounding getting your message of your product or service out to the market and letting your customers know your unique value proposition. Also, human resources. We talked about talent acquisition. What about onboarding and training and performance evaluation, conflict resolution, all the various things that goes, compliance, legal compliance. What about accounting, payroll, and accounts payable, accounts receivable, the generation of your financial statement, your income statement, your balance sheet on a monthly and annual basis? What about expense reports? What about all the various things that go into IT and operating systems, these types of things, your software, your hardware, all of that kind of stuff. And it goes on: sales, marketing, customer service, customer support tickets, online management. I could just go on and on and on, rattling these things off. Those are the things that are applicable to all businesses that don't require, or don't benefit rather, they require specialized knowledge, but they don't benefit from your specialized knowledge of your industry. They require a different specialized knowledge. It's specialized, but it's more general it's general in terms of business ubiquitously makes use of these things and needs these things, but you don't specialize them. And it's not where your time is best spent. That's why our business exists, is that realization. You should stick to do what you do best and outsource the rest. So come to us, let us know, come to our website and say, well, what could we do with you guys? And would we have better quality doing with you? I guarantee you the things that we specialize in, we can do better than you can do. And I'm not saying that arrogantly, it just stands to reason. It's what we do. We focus on it. We constantly look on how we can do that better. So your homework today is to look at what you do and what people in your organization do, and what should they be doing? What types of things should you perhaps be outsourcing or delegating because it's not what you do best and you could get it cheaper and better elsewhere? That's your homework assignment today. Brainstorm that. Take a look at what you do. If you want more examples, then go to our website and take a look at all the various things we do on any of our service pages. As you can look at all the various things that go into general management of a business and the peripheral stuff that's, we think of it as the support team. And then I encourage you to reach out to us and let our team go to work for you. When you hire us, you hire an entire team of people that specialize in that particular area. Or if you hire us as the general management mechanism for your business, we do everything that I said and much, much more. Stick to doing what you do best and outsource the rest. Never do at home what you can buy cheaper elsewhere. Never do in-house what you can outsource for cheaper, and never do on your particular schedule what you should be delegating, and you can get that done cheaper. And you as the manager probably are paid higher than some of your frontline staff, so that's that thing where we said delegate it. Again, when you apply this on an individual level, you want the person who if you're going to do this in-house and not the outsourcing idea, you want those people who can do the job at the same quality as you could do it or better, but your resources, the financial resources you put into paying that person, are less than what it costs your time. In other words, what is your time worth? What is your time worth, not worse? All right, well, I think that concept is fairly easy to understand. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is a principle that you should follow. A rule of thumb and a principle may be different things there. A rule of thumb is maybe I want to want to default to this generally speaking. And in that regard, yes, this is a rule of thumb, but it's a principle, and it should be a foundational thing that you constantly look back to and ask yourself time and again, is this something that I could be outsourcing? Is this something I should be delegating? I need to stick to what I do best and buy the rest. Where can I buy this for the same or better quality than I'm doing this in-house, whether this is materials, raw materials, or labor? Never make something in-house that it's cheaper for you to buy elsewhere. Think of that. Sorry, I'm repeating myself here. What I'm trying to say is that this should be obvious. This should be intuitive. It's very logical, and yet so few people religiously practice this, consistently follow this rule of thumb, this principle. So you should start today. If it is to be, it's up to me. If not you, then who? Who is going to make this change in culture in your organization? You need to do this. You have to implement things to drive your business forward. That's where I want to leave it today. And I want to remind you that if you would like me to cover a particular topic, or you want me to elaborate on this, if you want to challenge and you want me to create a video to give you specific advice that's more industry or business specific, you don't have to put it in the comments. You can go into the link in the description, and we'll have a form that you can fill out online, and you can be anonymous. You can share with us information that is not anonymous to us, but we won't mention your name or your business in the video that we create for you. And we can do this absolutely free for you. We can communicate with you and give you advice. And it's a great idea, because there's nothing more important to our economy than the proliferation and thriving of many small and medium-sized businesses. So I want to do that. I want to help you thrive. So make sure you take advantage of that and fill out that form. And if you just want to push back or give some sort of other idea or comment that we can all learn from, put it in the description or put it in the comments to the video, because we need to learn from one another. Perpetual refinement.